Hi, welcome to Strength Reversed. It's Amy. Thank you so much for being here. This is card number 6 of Mascha's Top Tarot Trumps series, and that means we are on to the Lovers. I am anticipating Mascha's video to be released, but I had some extra time, so I'm recording a couple of videos, and I don't know what she has said about the Lovers card. When I see the Lovers card, and this is just the standard RWS, I think, first of all, harmony, because it is a 6, but also partnership, balance, choice, decisions, union of opposites, soulmates, not in the sense of twin flames, because I don't believe in that, but someone you're contracted with to teach each other lessons in this lifetime, which can be an intense relationship. But this is part of that first line of 7 in the majors, which is all about the emergence of self, I guess I would say. So the fool kind of hatches out of his egg or whatever, and the magician and high priestess are those two masculine and feminine aspects of himself. The interacting with the magician's tools, and then also getting to know the intuitive side, the inner and outer worlds of this fool. And then we have the Empress and Emperor, who are the mother and father. So we have parents, the people that you come from that you don't get to choose. And then we have the Hierophant, who is a connection to rules and society and religion and jobs and that kind of thing. And then we get to the Lovers, where there's almost an integration. It's about integrating those aspects of ourselves and deciding how much we need of which one at any given moment. Okay, I thought that was a bug, but it was just a plant. I'm safe. When I see the Lovers card, because of this integration, and because I don't necessarily see it as another person, and I don't see it as a romantic card, I do prefer to see a man and a woman, because what I see in this card is those aspects within each of us. It's not about romantic love between two people. I guess it could be, but that's more, I think, of the Two of Cups, where it's this emotional bond, and it might be marriage or sex or whatever. That to me is more the Two of Cups. It's more of like a mundane minor arcana card, whereas this is very symbolic. It's an archetype, and this is contained within ourselves. Yes, we might, this might be about a partnership with someone else, but it's still about when we meet this person, balancing. It's about how we meet them and how we interact with them and how we balance our energies that we have gotten along the way, and discovering that we can't do everything ourselves, that maybe we are breaking away from the Empress and Emperor, the mom and dad. And Rachel Pollack described this as a very adolescent card. It's adolescence. It's about some kind of awakening, a spark within ourselves where we're not satisfied with just doing what our parents tell us, and we have to figure out this balance of energy for ourselves. For this reason, I do not like to see a hypersexualized Lovers card, because to me it's not about that kind of union. I guess it could be, but not usually. So this, I love the Light Seers, but this to me is almost too sexualized. I would prefer to see these two people with the two cups, and then this be more of the lovers thing. It's like those aspects of us intertwining. It could be ourselves, it could be any other it could be any two people, and it would make sense. Any kind of partnership, even just a solo partnership. The Mott Tarot borderlines on overtly sexual too. It just doesn't say, I mean, I guess there's a balance here. I guess it, you know, could be any two people. And it's about, this is connected to astrology, so it's Beltane. And I guess these might be like a maypole ribbons, and that is very much about fertility and that aspect of a union of like the red and white ribbons. And that to me is a little too sexual for this card. The Cosmic Tarot, this is the one with all the old Hollywood stars. I don't like this one very much either, because it's more about, this is more of a Two of Cups to me. I like cards like Tarot of the Weird. We have the water and fire together. We have people depending on each other, and there's almost this divine connection. And I know in the the Rider-Waite, we have like this biblical scene almost, where we have the man and the tree of life, and then the tree of knowledge, and then he's looking at her and she's looking at the angel, and it's this triangle, and they're almost, it can be any of the threes. It can be like ego, super ego, id, or whatever. It can be like reason and emotion and spiritual. It can be the conscious, the unconscious, the superconscious. It's all these aspects, but those are all contained within us. And the goal is to unite them and have them balanced and working together. Some other cards that I like. Here's Santa Muerte. I love the humor in these cards, and I just like that they have something together, but like maybe each one of them brought a piece, but together they have this key that they can use to get something more. It's more than just what each of them brought to the table, or it's more than, it's bigger, it's more than the sum of its parts. Just like when we are balanced and integrated and whole, we kind of become bigger than just what we are. This is the Wandering Moon, and I love this card because it's very simple. We have two hands, we have two hearts, and they come together to make this almost like a separate organ. And it's like emotion, but also, you know, the hands are just like more of the physical body, and this is more like emotional, and it makes something stronger. The Titanic Tarot has Isidore and Ida Strauss, who were the owners of the Macy's department stores, and they had the opportunity to get off the ship, but he wouldn't leave because there were still women and children on the ship, and she wouldn't go without him, because they together were this force. They were partners. It was beyond just their marriage. They formed a partnership, and then they became something more, where it didn't even make sense to be separate anymore. They each brought something to the table that complemented the other. And then they had to add, in the new version, they said younger people, but pshaw. And they were just random people, so I don't think that added anything to the deck. One deck that I really like is the Golden Girls, And there are some good golden nuggets in this deck. So we have the Lovers, which is Stan and Dorothy, and then the Two of Cups, which is Rose and Miles. And I think that really illustrates the difference in like what kinds of relationships these cards might represent. So Rose and Miles have, I mean, they have their moments, but they have a very easy relationship. They enjoy each other's company. They, you know, help each other explore their own interests, and they want to depend on each other. And Stan and Dorothy have a much more complex relationship where they have history together, they have children together, and so they can't quite disentangle themselves. There's this like soulmate entanglement where they trigger each other so much, and they hold a mirror up for each other, and they're forced to work through this. And by doing that, they each learn something about themselves, and they're able to be a more integrated person. And that to me is a good way to illustrate the difference between the Lovers and the Two of Cups. The mystical moments, I think, totally botched the Lovers card because they did this thing in their quest to have men be optional in the deck. Didn't want to have a man and a woman, and so they have instead a bird and a man's top hat. Which does nothing for me. This does absolutely nothing for me. It doesn't say union of opposites. It doesn't say integration of self. It doesn't say a partnership on a soulmate level with anyone. It just is a pretty card that isn't very meaningful. I love the mystical cats. The mystical cats, right? Because it's this yin and yang. It's a very balanced look. You can tell they maybe have different personalities, but they're stronger together. And there's like a give and a take here. They probably argue, but still. So that's the Lovers card for me. I think it's just not, I don't like it when it's depicted as, you know, hot and heavy romantic love, because to me that's not what the Lovers card is about. That completely misses the point. This could just as easily be a partnership with yourself and a partnership between the inner and outer worlds, you know, reason versus emotion, you know, your head versus your heart, and getting that to be in balance, which I think a lot of cards are about. Anyway, have a loverly day. That's a pun. I'm starting my Shakespeare unit in school, so I'm super excited about that. Anyway, have a great day. Enjoy the eclipse, and I will talk to you later.